Hello, welcome back to the hot seat. Yeah, with me, David, and Bob. This is Bob.
Hello.
And welcome to Bob and Dave's Loyalty Shop. Yeah, we have a special guest today. Yeah, Jeremy Stern. Stern by name, Stern by nature. He's from PromoVeritas. Brilliant company. And we're going to grill him for a little while. Not grill him. That would be illegal. But shoot, Bob. Shoot.
Jeremy, thanks a lot for coming on today. I think, I've known you a long time. You've had a fantastic career. I mean, Unilever, Tesco, BT, Sega, Coca-Cola. I mean, that's formidable. And I'm looking forward to kind of talking to you about that as well. But also, PromoVeritas, 20 years today.
It is, yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, and that's amazing. So where do you want to start?
Making sure that people run it right.
But it's not just about running it right, because I mean, you do some amazing stuff, and you're quite well known in the industry of being the Willy Wonka of the confectionery industry with your work with Cadbury's, and I've seen documentaries on it and everything. So
yeah.
So let's start there. Tell us about your Cadbury relationship.
Yeah, we've been working with Cadbury for 14 years now, and for 11 years we've done the annual Hunt the Cadbury Cream Egg. So we're not the creative agency. They work with those independently, but whatever they come up with, we then help to shape and then we implement it. So for the Cadbury Cream Egg one, we will go to the factory on a night shift when there are a few people around. We create the special eggs. So sometimes they're goo-less, literally solid eggs without the goo.
Yep.
Sometimes they've been white eggs. Yeah,
They're my favourites.
Yeah, white eggs are delicious.
Yeah, and the solid ones.
Yeah, but last year
gooey stuff,
we did one that was probably the best, which was mixed milk chocolate and white, two halves mixed together with the goo. Then it's wrapped with a golden ticket with a unique number on it. Then we safely secure that. And then me and my team, we travel around the country and we literally drop these eggs into supermarkets.
Wow.
We call it CPP, Controlled Price Placement.
Amazing. Wow. If you ever need anyone to help.
Yeah. You're up for that?
I'm your man, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we've done it across the UK. I mean, this year I went to Northern Ireland and Belfast and Omagh and...
So we're skipping very quickly over that, but I mean, what are the logistics about that? Because, I love to sometimes go in stores and take pictures of promotions and all that kind of stuff, and before I know it, I've got security people all over me. So how do you get away with kind of getting in and out and doing the whole thing? And
well, security is very important for us. It's one of the reasons why we do it this way.
Yeah.
In the past, there have been promotions where they say win 10 cars on these special packs, look for the golden ticket. But there's no proof that there ever are 10 golden tickets in the cans of beans or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So we, first of all, ensure that there is. And we sign a certificate to say that that's the right number. And then we will map out the country based on proportions. So if Cadbury cream eggs are 20% are sold in Tesco, then they will get 20% of the quantity. And then we map out a route that works for us geographically. It's fairly random.
Yeah.
And then we will reverse shoplift. We will place the eggs back in.
Wow.
But we have certain techniques.
Right.
But we've done it for eggs. We've done it for cases of pet food. And in fact, most recently, we did it for Pepsi.
Oh,
so this is actually a gold can.
Okay.
And if you found this one in a supermarket shop, that was £1,000.
Well, that would be in a packet.
That was in a
24
pack.
24 pack.
A 24 pack.
So
that's a challenge to put that up your sleeve.
And that's
but we
worth
have
a grand.
ways. And that's £1,000.
Wow.
Absolutely. But each one has a unique code. So we track it. We know where we've dropped it. And then when people phone up, then we ask for the claim code. We know it's valid. And that way we protect the consumer. We protect the reputation of the brands.
Just going back to the eggs, is that the same kind of thing?
Yes.
Same price?
The eggs were up to £10,000 this year. Yeah, some are 500, some are 1,000, some are 10,000.
That's exciting.
Yeah. But our guys, when we drop them, we never know what the value of the egg is. We don't know whether it's a small value or a high value for our internal security as well. So I don't even know what I'm dropping.
Wow.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. I mean...
It's all done with code numbers.
Yeah. Because if you did know, would you...
No, I wouldn't. The whole business is based on integrity.
Of course.
And reputation.
As you said from the outset.
Thanks for the suggestion. Yeah, I'd never considered that. Yeah, it's good.
Of course you wouldn't.
Yeah, but you would.
So the other bit that fascinates me, and I appreciate that we can't get into details and talk about brands and specifics, right? But like you, I'm sure, I've worked on many promotions where somebody has tried to fraudulently claim stuff. Have you had any kind of experiences that have been sort of beyond belief?
Yeah. We did this one.
Great question, Bob.
Thank you.
This was Dairy Lee.
Right.
All right. And the packaging says, does your pack moo win a £10,000 holiday?
Yep.
Okay. And we distributed these around the country.
Yep.
And what was special about them was we took out one of the cheese triangles and we replaced it with a light activated sound chip.
Oh, okay. How brilliant.
That's
How brilliant.
Okay. Clearly non-edible.
Was that your idea? Was that
Yeah.
it was your idea? So you're not just compliance and all that. You're creative as well.
Modestly creative. So congratulations, you've won a £10,000 holiday. Phone this number. Here's a claim number. And we distributed these, and I remember doing a drop actually in Glasgow and Edinburgh or whatever, and then we got a call from somebody, and they were in Falkirk, which is not Glasgow or Edinburgh, and they claimed that they had one of these.
Right, okay.
And they gave the right code number, but they didn't know where it came from. And we traced it through, and it turned out that the actual finder had put it on eBay, had sold it, and the person in Falkirk had bought it with money for less than the £10,000, and then were trying to claim it. And is that fraud? No, because they were physically in possession of it.
Yeah.
But it was a breach.
It tested the system.
Yeah, it tested the system. Correct.
That's amazing. But you'd be a bit annoyed if you were looking forward to some Dairy Lee on a bit of toast, and that just got to be...
We did have a complaint from somebody who won it. They were a childminder, and they were trying to make lunch for the child, and then they went to the fridge, and there was no ready cheese.
So sorry, Jeremy, remind me, what was it that you actually won?
£10,000.
£10,000.
I know.
So you're upset because your child
I
hasn't
want my
got
cheese.
cheese, and you've got £10,000 in your hand, right? I mean,
They actually win £10,001 because we do reimburse them.
Yeah.
For the Dairy Lee, because legally,
the
consumer paid for that,
no,
so they do get an extra quid.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
You learn in this job that there's no surprising about people.
Now the other
the
other thing that I know you would have covered, but you're playing it down, is you surely you can't just create a pack like this, right? And just have the kind of promotional value. I mean, it's got to weigh the same, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be able to go in a freezer and not get.
I mean, this particular one has squidgy material around it, so that it protects it, but also it feels like cheese. It had to be food safety tested, so that it had to pass the swallow test.
Yes.
So certain sizes. This contains batteries, which are killers for kids, well, adults as well. So all of that had to be done, absolutely. And you're right, the weight, it had to also cope with being in a fridge.
Yeah, but where do you start? Who do you go to make stuff like that?
I'm not telling you that. That's our trade secret, mate.
I mean, the research that it takes to
it's
just do
phenomenal.
that.
And it's also investment from the brand, right? So I mean, years ago I worked on Coca-Cola for the World Cup, and one of the many promotions that we ran was a T-shirt in a can. Oh, no, football in a can.
Football in a can.
Football in a can in a vending machine, right?
Unblown up.
Unblown up. And as you say, what you've got to do is you've got to get, and we didn't do this. Coca-Cola have got some specialist people that do this, right? They had to get the weight of the can exactly the same as the weight of a normal can, because it would just jam up the machine otherwise.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And they've got to make sure that all the weights that are in there, if they're held in with glue, the glue doesn't break under pressure of freezing and all the other bits and pieces, right? And to your point, when you win and you win to blow up football, you've got to make sure the consumer's got a coupon to get a can of Coke, right?
Because that's what they wanted.
Because that's what the transaction was for, right? So it is a science, and I don't think enough people appreciate it.
So much work goes into that.
Well, we've done bottles of Budweiser that were fake, but in a 6-pack, they contained a key to a mini car.
Right.
And I'm just imagining this guy in the desert, he's down to his last bottle of drink. I've got a car. I'm in the desert. I'm dead.
Try and drive out the desert.
No, he's only
As
got
long
the
as
key.
it's 4-wheel drive.
He's only got the key.
Oh, he hasn't got the key.
We didn't do an uninflated car rolled up into a bottle, okay?
Like a genie.
Well, now you mention
rubbing a
that,
little lamp.
So look, part of what we do is we make the impossible possible.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
No, that's amazing. So I'm so excited now. What other great things have you got to tell us?
Who likes biscuits?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Hands up. Yeah.
You like Jammy Dodgers? One of your favourites?
Love them.
Yeah.
Love them.
Yeah.
Well, they produced a limited edition.
Let's have a look.
A limited edition that if you found one of these special limited edition blueberry flavour Jammy Dodgers, which was naturally blue, then you would win a prize. And the blue Jammy Dodger looked like that.
Nice.
Found one of those, you get the golden card with a unique number, you make the claim, you've won the prize.
You win £1,000.
So we're quite skillful at basically taking a product, tweaking it, twisting it, and doing it well.
So that reminds me of a very famous promotion called Harry the Lime
Yes, Harry the Lime on Ribena.
on Ribena.
Yeah.
Where Harry the Lime was a criminal and you had to hunt him down. And the way you found him was if you sipped Ribena at the time, which only came in certain flavours, if you found a lime flavour, if you tasted lime, you'd won. Okay? What was the law change that stopped that kind of promotion happening again? Because
Clearly, we're not
I
going
think
to
it was
put
something around the fact that because it was lime flavoured and not berry flavoured. Is that correct? Is it?
There was a contradiction between what the ingredients on the packaging said
Yeah.
and what the actual inside drink was.
Right.
Because the outside would talk about black currants, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
but you actually
And
had lime
also, what if
juice.
someone's
Yeah.
allergic
So
to
they
blue
were
dye?
technically lying. They were lying in your benefit because you won £10,000 or whatever
Sure,
the prize
sure.
was. So we have to be very careful about that. I mean, clearly, we're not going to put batteries included on every pack of dairy.
So
Yeah.
you got to be hot on legals.
Yes.
You got to be hot on production techniques and everything else, logistics, right?
Security, think
and
like
all
a
that
crook.
sort of stuff. And you've got to be hot on red tape.
Yes,
Wow.
that's what.
And also, what if someone's allergic to blue dye in a biscuit?
Yeah,
eating.
yeah, you have to
Yeah.
consider that.
That's the
Even
thing.
the printing of the golden tickets or whatever we do
Yeah.
has to be made using food safe ink,
Yeah.
because if it's in contact with the product, you don't want any of the ink to rub off, etc. So yeah,
What are the odds?
well, the odds on all of these will depend on the number of packs that are made available. Jammy Dodgers is not quite the same size as Coca-Cola, but it would be 1 in a million.
1 in a million? That's
Yeah.
quite low.
Yeah, probably something like that.
That's quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with Cadbury Cream Egg, we make 500 winning eggs. So the odds are pretty reasonable.
And the lead times are probably massively on that, aren't they? I mean, they can't just make the eggs like a week before you need them. You're probably like 6 or 7 months before.
Well, we're starting planning now for Easter already.
Right. Okay.
But amazingly, on this one, there were 12 that we made, or we made more than 12, but 12 that were distributed.
Yeah.
There are only 8 claimed. There's,
Yeah.
some
There's still
some
some out
guy opens it. Bennett,
Is the promo over?
10 grand.
Does it?
Yeah,
is it
yeah,
over?
oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
all-
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's all dead.
So if you did get one, you'd be annoyed.
Yeah,
You'd
no,
be
there are many
gutted.
promotions which we won't name, right? Which you know, you got a chance.
Underperform.
Underperform.
Yeah, but when this is shoving in your face, it's talking to you, all right, and saying you're
You
the winner.
could have had 10
You know what?
grand.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of, which could happen in my fridge at home, right, is that goes in the fridge. Everyone forgets about it, right, and then they go, "Oh, what's the sell-by date?"
Closed. Yeah.
Chuck it out.
sell by date,
They
yeah.
don't even open
Yes,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, because yeah,
That happens in my house.
That happens in my house all the time.
Yeah.
Right. More times, if you're listening, right, more times than I like.
Wasteful.
Yeah, wasteful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate that. There's people starving in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, so many elements. You have to be really careful. Like if you're coming up with these ideas for these promos, you've got to really be sharp.
You've
on
got to be
every-
sharp.
Every angle.
And this is
Every
again the
single
ignorance.
angle.
Marketeers don't know about the rules, but they don't know about the cheats.
Yeah.
Right? We know individuals that have 20, 30 SIM cards. So when it's a text to win,
Yeah.
right, and it's only 1 per entry, which you can control very easily via a technical platform.
Wow.
Then they'll just enter, switch the SIM card, enter, switch the SIM card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the consequence of that, we phoned somebody up, said you want a holiday. Then we phoned the next number on our list of winners, and it's the same voice,
Yeah.
but on a different number.
Wow.
And you go, what's your address? Have you got proof of ID? Only 1 prize per winner, please.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in my time, I've given a few cars away,
Ah.
right? And
You've
this
what?
is I've given a few cars away on behalf of brands, right? So people like all sorts of different people for supermarkets, for
Why haven't I met you before, like years ago? I could have done with a free car. You got any spare jammy Dodgers?
What about Wayne Rooney's Aston Martin? We gave that away once.
Did you?
Yeah, for Coca-Cola. And I didn't know, but Aston Martin, when you buy a new Aston Martin,
Yeah.
they engrave the name of the first owner inside the doorway.
Do they
Yeah.
really?
Yeah. So it actually had the Wayne Rooney name on the door panel.
So yours must
Amazing.
have had Brenty on it, or
Yeah, mine had Brenty.
yeah.
You'd have to show proof of ID. Yeah. So and the winner was from Salford.
Right.
And we had to send her on a driving course. Aston Martin do special driving courses because
Yeah.
if you're used to a little Ford Fiesta, you know,
Yeah.
what we don't want is the next week the news story is girl wraps herself around a lamppost, you know, in a
And
car.
she was
Well,
obviously a United
And so
fan as
we
well.
sent her on a car training course. But a couple of weeks later, she said I'd sold the car.
Yes, which brings back to
It's fine.
Which brings back to my experience. So I've given away like half a dozen cars in my time, and I've had to make the call, right? So I've had to
Nice.
phone them up, what this is generally what I've found, right? The first time you make a call, you go, "Hello, is that Dave?" Yeah.
Yes,
And they
it's
go,
Dave.
Yes, it's Dave. And they go,
Who's this?
can I just check a few things? Do you live at such and such? Whatever.
Yeah.
Did you enter the blah, blah, blah? Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
do all of that bit, right? And then I go, just delighted to tell you that you've just won Ford Escort, whatever it is, right? And they go, look, Pete, can you stop pissing about?
Yeah, I bet they do.
They do.
I was about to say that.
They all do, right? And they go, no, really, I'm from the agency, it's blah, 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 it's all the other bits and pieces, right? And they go, yeah, of course
right.
it is, right? Without fail, all of them have done it, right? Except for, I'll come back to my point, except for on one occasion the client wanted to do it, right, which I won't reveal, right? And it was a VW bus, right? This is one of these kind of camper vans, right?
Nice.
And he got everyone in the conference room. So he got the team in the conference room, he got the agents in the conference room, and he went, "Hi, it's so-and-so here. Just to let you know that you've won the amazing camper van, blah, blah, blah."
On loudspeaker over.
Yeah.
Everyone was there.
Yeah, everyone was in the meeting room. At which point the guy was like really nonplussed, and he said, "You don't seem very excited." He said, "Well, I'm in a wheelchair and I don't drive."
Oh.
And I was looking at the client, right, and I had said to him, right, privately, "Let us do it,"
Just
right? That's why we do it.
check.
Right?
Yeah.
And at which point the client was just like speechless, right? Because it had just taken him completely by
Wow.
surprise.
You could sell it.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. All the cars that I've given away, to my knowledge, right, have either been sold on the day, they turn up to the dealership, they shake hands, right, they've already made agreement with the dealer,
Right.
the dealer's writing the check out, whatever.
Yeah.
I had one occasion where very savvy young lady, right, she went round to all the dealers in her area and said, "I've just won this car from this car manufacturer. You're going to get some PR out of it. The one that puts the most extras on it gets the business." I then got one of those calls from the client, right, where I basically said, "Nothing to do with me, but let me sort it out." And I
Yeah.
phoned her up and I said, "Look, please don't phone any more dealers up." I said, "This is where we're going to give you the car. This is wherever," and all the
Yeah.
other bits and pieces, right? So,
Yeah.
competition winner management is also very key.
We have a team of happy makers, we call them,
Happy makers,
because that's what they do. They give away prizes.
that's what Dave does. He makes people happy.
Yeah, and I don't even give them prizes.
Yeah. So you brought some other props here, some other interesting props.
Yeah.
What else can you?
Well, it's a bit hot in here.
It is
I
very
thought,
hot,
I thought
yeah.
I'd get myself an ice cream. This is one of my favourite promotions that we did for Unilever's Cornetto. We ran this in about 8 countries.
Just one cornetto.
Well, we made 800 actually.
Right.
800 of these special plastic ones.
Yeah.
That, as you before, they're squidgy at the top, so
Oh,
they
yeah.
do feel on the outside. They
Yeah.
they roughly weigh the same.
Yeah.
And inside, and for safety reasons,
I love
the lid's got a hole in it, so it whatever. But actually, inside
Yeah.
was the key to a Vespa scooter.
Wow.
Oh.
So if you found one of these in your multi-pack or in your singles in your shop in 8 countries around Europe,
Yeah.
then inside here was the claim number
Yeah.
that you would then phone, and a coupon for another Cornetto.
Yeah.
And away you went on your Vespa.
That would be Bob's dream.
No, the dream was me going to the Naples factory where they make it,
Oh my God.
right?
How brilliant.
And you have to go in wearing a moon suit like an astronaut
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's
yeah,
freezing.
yeah.
And I'm opening boxes, taking one out,
Yeah.
putting my plastic ones in,
Yeah.
doing that. And then what do you do with all the ice cream that you've taken
Oh, I
out?
don't know.
The best
Oh,
bit
brilliant.
is you just take the bottom, the chocolate bit.
Yeah.
That's what I ended up. You just break off the chocolate bit and eat the chocolate bit.
Oh, right.
And then actually a couple of years ago, I noticed that Cornetto had actually launched just the chocolate bit as an ambient product.
Yeah.
Did they?
Just the bottom, the
Oh.
tips. Yeah.
Do you know? I remember
started
That's
reading.
the bit
I
that you
started
love.
that
I
trend.
love that bit at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
reading. There's a reason why there is a chocolate bit in the back, but I can't remember what it was. But there's a
Happy
Does it
ending.
taste good?
no. It was to do with something to do with the production, but it does taste good.
Yeah, it does taste good. So that was pretty cool. And again, not all 100% of them were actually claimed. There are these kids
so-
wandering around, trying to eat an ice cream that isn't ice cream.
How long were you there stuffing these in?
Oh, we did about 6 visits because we have to phase it over time, fitting in
right.
with production runs.
Oh, so you
Yeah,
became regulars.
Oh yeah, became absolutely. Yeah. I
And
had
where was
my-
this? Where's the
Naples
factory
in
in
Italy.
Naples?
Yeah.
Napoli.
Yeah.
It's a bit rough,
Sometimes you see we will do our job in the factory direct,
Yeah.
where it's a high volume and
Yeah.
maybe relatively low value. But where it's a high value and small numbers,
Yeah.
then the risk is too great and we need to control it precisely.
Yeah.
And that way we can guarantee that there really are X hundred out there, and then we'll do it shop by shop. I'm very lucky, actually. I think I've done every promotion that I would really like.
Yeah.
I mean, the other part of our business is because we build on based on integrity. We do television vote shows. So
Brilliant.
often when you hear and the votes have been independently verified, that will be
So what sort of shows?
Me or the
what sort of
team.
shows do you cover? 'Cause
Really?
you do a lot of TV work, don't you?
Loads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well. There are a number of shows that I'm not allowed to talk about for certain
mention.
national broadcasters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me
But the
too.
one, you.
Yeah. Go on.
So yeah, for
Yes.
11 years now, we've
Drops the
overseen the
level.
National Television Awards that are
Oh,
just
right,
about
okay.
to launch
Yeah.
on ITV. So we do the voting verification. They get tens of millions of votes,
Right.
of which many seem to come from China
Yeah.
and odd places that have to be filtered out. And we're
from
always
China?
yeah.
So how do you? So
IP
you
addresses, filters,
filter
patterns.
through-
Yeah, we have controls that monitor the patterns. So the timing, the spacing, the geolocation.
Yeah.
So we have a data analyst that can control all of that.
That's amazing. What? Just one person or?
And a
one-
computer.
And a, yeah.
Yeah, and
Obviously,
a
yeah.
computer, yeah.
That's great, isn't it?
so, yeah.
So in the background, you don't know that's going on.
So big in FMCG, big in entertainment. What other
Finance.
Finance. Okay.
Yeah, so we work for a number of the banks, American
Yeah.
Express, Barclays. Cars. We
Yeah.
just ran a campaign for Auto Trader.
Oh, okay.
So we do weird stuff, okay?
Go
How
on.
about filling a car with potatoes?
right.
Right? And then asking the public to guess how many potatoes were in the car. The person that wins the most, or
Right.
guesses the guesses the best, will win the car.
Brilliant.
So that just completed last week.
Right.
The other one we've done is fit rockets to a shopping trolley,
Right.
launch it off a ramp,
Yeah.
and the public have to estimate how far that trolley will fly in the air and land.
Two things occurred to me. I bet you have enormous employee retention. But the reason I say that is because when you're writing your CV, what did I do last week? I put potatoes in a can.
Oh right.
Right?
Career enhancing.
And the other thing is, it's like, where are you going to find an amazing job like that anywhere else?
Oh, brilliant.
Right? So it's,
Shoving cornettos in the factory in Naples.
right?
Yeah.
So,
Love it.
so it's like, if you're like me, where I'm a sales promotion passionista, right? That is like the most amazing job in the world for me. But that's me, right?
Yeah.
But it's not for everyone. So if you haven't got 100% retention, it just means that you haven't got people that, you know, are as passionate as others.
Correct.
You know,
We do have passionate people,
Yeah.
but very few have the passion when they join.
Yes.
Because no one wakes up and goes to school and wants to be an independent verifier for PromoVeritas. You know,
Yes.
it's a weird. It's just not a known thing.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, I've got people 8
I would-
years, 7 years, 12 years.
anytime you want to send someone to Naples to put some ice cream, pretend ice cream,
Absolutely.
I'm there.
I'm there.
Yeah.
There's a trip
Yeah.
to Belgium next week.
Is there?
Yeah.
Let me check my diary. So in your sector, you must be by now 20 years of doing this, plus obviously all your own personal experience. You must be one of the most experienced promotional people on the planet.
I've seen a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've run 16,500 campaigns.
Yeah.
That's one way of saying he's old, really old.
When you look to the future, what are the challenges that you are looking forward to, or that you face, or that you?
Well, we've evolved. We started off in my back bedroom, just doing prize draws, literally conducting prize draws.
Yeah.
And we've expanded, we competitions, we do all the judging for that.
Yeah.
We do all these instant wins. But now we have our own digital team.
Yeah.
And so we bring everything, all our skills onto digital. So we run unique codes.
Yeah.
We generate the codes that go online. I think the skill for me is understanding the technical aspect.
Yeah.
Whether WordPress is really better than a MySQL database and how
Right.
this works with that. And whatever we build, 6 months down the line, the tech guys say, no, we've got to do it again in a new format.
Yeah.
So keeping up to date with that tech, I think is probably our biggest challenge.
So are you guys unique in the market? I mean, or are there other people that kind of do this, or are they, you know, if they're not using you?
Well, look, some of the things that we do, the local vicar can do, pulling names out of a hat
Yes.
to pick a prize draw, judging a photo competition, you know, the local vicar can do. But the other stuff, I mean, majority of our income now is multinational.
Yeah.
All right, so ranging, we're launching with Lego in 17 countries.
Wow, congratulations.
We do other brands, 40 countries for certain things. So we know all
Wow.
about the laws all around the world. So from that point of view, yeah, we are unique.
Yeah.
Lego, big name.
Yeah.
Big name.
Yeah.
Must have taken a while building on that.
I was actually
Everything's coming together.
I actually went to Denmark Legoland a month ago, which is fantastic. The home of Lego.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
bet
it's
it was.
terrific.
He gets to go to all these
I know.
places.
I know.
What a job. I thought my job was good. That's brilliant.
No, I think the best one was for a brand in Norway, where we were doing the CPP, which is the shop drop.
Yeah.
And if you know Norway, it's a very long, thin country.
Yeah.
With massive fields and lots of snow and mountains.
Yeah.
So to go from the top end is not like driving from London to Scotland.
Yeah.
You just can't do it. They don't have that sort of road network. It's really tortuous.
Right.
So the way to do it to ensure national coverage was I took a cruise ship.
Oh, right.
Start at the bottom at Stavanger.
Yeah.
Get the Hurtigruten all the way up to the Russian border.
Yeah.
And every day it would stop at different locations. I'd nip off, borrowing a bicycle from the ship, cycle to the local co-op or the Remy or whatever the supermarket was, do my drop, get back on the boat.
Fantastic.
That was pretty cool, particularly when you cross the Arctic Circle and you're sitting in a jacuzzi on the top deck.
Oh, lovely.
Watching the Northern Lights. That was good.
Oh, it is beautiful over there, isn't it?
So it has its advantages.
I hope you took some pictures and sent them back to the team to let them know how
Yeah.
hard you're working.
This is me in the jacuzzi.
But what I love about what you've been doing is you've kind of kept the classic craft of promotions alive, but brought it safely into the 21st century. And I think that's tremendous because, I mean, that's my passion. Yeah, the reason I got in this whole industry is I was walking down a supermarket one day, picked up a packet of cereal, and there was, some sort of toy on it, and I thought, wouldn't that be a great job, right? And that's what inspired me to, do what I do, right? So I ended up in loyalty, but I started off in sales promotion, right? So, publicly, I think you've done an amazing job for the industry, and I think you should, if nothing else, if the world ends tomorrow, right, you should be very proud of that.
I feel comfortable chatting to all three of us here, the three marketeers. With a swashbuckling. Don't get your swords out. But my question would be, what is the weirdest prize that you've had to give away on a promo?
Am I allowed to give two?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Win Warren.
Win Warren.
Win Warren.
Okay.
Is Warren a fella?
This is for Fridge, which is like a milk drink.
Right.
Yeah.
And the headline, which they did to their credit really prominently on the packaging, was Win Warren,
Okay.
which is going to stop you in your tracks if you're in a supermarket.
Yeah.
And you won a guy called Warren for 24 hours to do with what you wanted. Okay? Now, this was not my concept. This was from a creative agency, a very creative agency.
Yeah.
But they came to us because we are the promotional bodyguards. Can you imagine what we then had to do? Think about what could go wrong.
Wow.
Yeah? And
24 hours of slavery.
well,
Is that what it would
we had to control that in the terms and conditions. Absolutely, he had to have a certain number of hours of sleep and food and drink, and that he wasn't allowed to have physical contact and whatever. But that's what you won. There were 5 prizes available of Win Warren to 5 different individuals to go, and people used him for mowing the lawn and doing the ironing.
And did it happen?
It actually happened. Yeah. We got this jobbing actor. Whose name was not Warren, but it was for the day.
Yeah.
And he went out and around the country and did that. Yeah.
Brilliant.
So that's a pretty good one.
That's work for him as
And
well.
look, what was clever was they could have said win a man for the day, but they didn't. That would have been too easy.
Yeah.
I like that choice. I think the other
Did
one.
you have to really choose this? I mean, you say it was a jobbing actor, so did he have skills? Could he?
Iron?
Was he?
No.
I mean, was he?
I think we had to pay them because he did burn some of his shirts.
I mean, he could make a push up of a load of stuff, couldn't he?
He could have done. Yeah, there were a few requests that we had to decline and swerve away from.
So did they have did they WhatsApp you and say, right, we'd like to request them to do whatever? Is that okay? Did you have to?
Yeah.
Was it like that?
Yeah.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah, they had to. The 5 winners had to submit what they wanted to do.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
In advance.
Right. So he could brush up on his skills.
Correct.
Yeah.
His lawn mowing skills.
Yeah. Oh, that's great, isn't it?
Walking the dog was one. Yeah.
That is very unique.
That was a good one.
What was the other one?
And the other one was on Tyrrell's Crisps.
Yep.
Because they're slightly wacky.
Yeah.
And we ran campaign for them, and they had a couple of weird prizes. So top prize was win a tattoo of your boss's name.
What? Oh my God.
And the other one was win your weight in prawns on the prawn cocktail flavour crisp.
That could backfire on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my ex-bosses in my paper industry business. His name was Dick.
Was there a cash alternative on that prize?
Yeah, there was. There was a cash alternative. Yeah, correct. There was.
And everyone took it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone.
But it doesn't matter. You've got the grab. You've got the grab from the main headline, and the other one was win a night with an Italian stallion.
Oh, why didn't you call me? I once pitched to a brand, win an authentic Italian grandmother who would come and cook you the meals and all that kind of stuff. They didn't go with it, but I thought it was a cracking idea.
Yeah.
Was the
We've had
Italian-
chefs come round to your house and cook a meal as a prize.
Yeah.
Was the Italian stallion a horse?
So look, the great thing about promotional marketing, you can have creativity in the mechanic, how it's run, how it's operated, but you can have great fun with the pricing and the headlines.
Of course you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we've changed people's lives with some of the prizes that we do. It's fantastic.
Oh,
Interesting.
That's really.
So give us a good example of where you've changed someone's life.
Yeah.
We did have somebody who won a car and they were disabled, and we managed to have it adapted for their
Oh,
disability.
that's brilliant.
And that did open up the world for them.
It's good because that kind of thing can change people's lives for the better, can't it? Yeah, it's good. He's becoming a bit of a hero of mine.
So tell us about your work in social media, and more importantly, tell us about any work where you've kind of got involved with influencers and stuff like that. Yeah.
So we do a fair amount of work with influencers.
Yep.
About 18 months ago, the Competition Markets Authority, which is the regulator for marketing and communications, stamped down hard on influencers because they were getting paid to talk about a brand.
Yeah.
But they weren't declaring that they were being paid. It was as if it was their opinion.
Oh, okay.
And under the law, actually the law, not just the ASA rules, but the law, you must declare paid
Gotcha. So
partnerships.
is that why when you upload YouTube content, it has
Hashtag ad.
It has a tick box that says you have to
Sponsored.
you have to tell if it's sponsored or whatever. That's part of
correct.
that legislation.
Part of that legislation,
Got it, yeah.
The Consumer Protection Act regulations. And the influencers were not doing it. They were getting given perfumes and they were saying, oh, it's lovely perfume, and they weren't declaring that it actually may not have been their real opinion.
Right.
So the CMA got them to sign a legal document saying that they would continue to do that.
Yeah.
So we work with a number of influencers where we will sign off and check that their material is okay, that they're using hashtag ad, that they're not saying anything inappropriate. And then a number of influencers also run price draws because they're given this perfume and they say anyone who sends a post or a tweet or a like or whatever will be entered into a draw to win it. So we've taken classic old sales promotional techniques and we stuck it now in the new world of social media.
So I believe one of the projects you did when you were at Coca-Cola was you set up their loyalty program, didn't you?
Yeah, Coke Auction.
Coke Auction.
I had a European role.
Yeah.
So actually the main guy on Coke Auction was Rafa McDonald, who's still in the business today.
Yeah.
But yeah, we worked with QXL, which was then a rival to eBay.
Right.
They've gone now. And that was fascinating because you collected your Coke bottles and they each had a unique code.
Yeah.
You then entered those into a database, into your bank account effectively. And then every week we would release items that you could then bid for.
Yeah.
So you could only bid what you had in your bank account.
Yeah.
But we noticed patterns.
Yeah.
Staffordshire was particularly popular.
Right.
People were entering large amounts. And then when we investigated, we reckoned it was the cleaners at Alton Towers
Yeah.
that were raiding the bins for all the bottle caps and getting all the codes.
Yeah. Well, I was.
And doing thank you very nicely.
Yeah. Well, I was involved in a similar thing. I was involved in the Cadbury's cream egg auction that you might remember. And it was a similar thing. You every week you had, or every so often you had lots of different exciting prizes, and you collected the wrappers, and the wrappers were your bid, right? My involvement was purely on the partnership side. So I wasn't the agency that ran it, but I used to get my clients to get involved, and we did things like prizes of trips to Hong Kong to do egg hunts and the Calais Rally for Sea France and all that kind of
Nice.
thing. Yeah, very nice. And similar things, right? We get stories of guys that were so interested in competing that they would go out and buy 400 cream eggs. Right?
Well, at least your guys were buying for it.
Yeah, they were buying for it because
My guys were just raiding the bins.
because they were in the sun the next day with this pile of cream eggs, right? Okay, and they would take all the wrappers off, and obviously they keep them because they want to eat them or whatever it was. And one very funny story: we got sent a free catering pack of cream eggs, and I was on the way to a meeting
Without the wrappers.
No, with the wrappers.
Oh, you sent by the brand.
Sent by the brand as a thank you, right? Or sent by the agency. And I was on the way to a meeting, and they arrived, and they fitted in the A4 tray that you used to have on your desk, right? And we had an account exec on the team, and I just said to her, lovely girl, right? And I just said to her, look after these, make sure that, they don't get opened, right? We'll share them out with the team when I get back, right? And I came back about 3 hours later, and she was just like green. And I went, "How many have you eaten?" And she went, "I've eaten 12."
No, no.
Yeah, and she was like, I was like sitting there thinking, you go down the gym every day. You're in your prime. You're perfect a specimen of a fit person. You're the last person I would imagine who would,
Binge.
Shouldn't they have an addictive thing in them or something?
Well, she was just sitting there in the morning, doing whatever she was
But Bob,
doing.
that's not the point. Where are the rappers?
Well, I don't know where the rappers went, but as you know, it doesn't matter because I couldn't have entered because I was involved in the promotion. But yeah,
Well, no, that is an interesting point. Okay, let's say we do a project for Tesco.
yes,
Right, Tesco employ 500,000 people. Okay?
Yes.
I mean, in the terms it says no, employees and their families should not enter. Okay.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Mary enters,
yes,
and she doesn't work, but her husband works for Tesco, and we pick her as a winner. How the heck am I supposed to know? She might not even have the same name as the employee or her daughter. So actually, we go back to our clients and say, don't bother putting that in because you're writing a rule that is so hard for anyone to follow. Yeah, National Health employs over 1 million people.
Right.
We'd have to exclude probably 4 or 5 million people if we're.
So it's not a hard and fast rule that you have to put in.
Well, the argument that we use is because we are independent. The rule was put in to stop possible claims of fakery.
Yes.
That Tesco picks somebody that they know in Tesco, right?
Yeah.
But if we're picking it and we're picking it fairly,
Yeah,
then you don't have to worry about it.
makes sense.
It makes sense.
Makes
So
sense.
we actually advise our clients do not put that in because you'll only get hoisted by your own petard because it's something you can't really control.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And a whole point about prize winners is that they should be happy.
Yeah.
And if they're working for Tesco and we pick them fairly and squarely, they've worked for Tesco. It's not a fix. And we'll be happy to stand up in the public and say, that's how it was.
You really dot your I's and cross
Yeah,
your
you have.
T's, don't you?
We try to, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Look, it's about building confidence because we know that in Europe they have very tough rules.
Yeah.
In Italy, if you want to run a campaign and give away a big biro, you've got to go to the government 2 weeks in advance, submit your terms and conditions, pay a fee, buy an insurance policy in case you go bust before you've given away the pen, and pay for a public official to come along and do the draw.
I need to ask you a question. And it's all been business so far. So let's get down to Jeremy. Who's Jeremy? Right? What is your hobby? What's your favourite thing to do on a day? Not on a daily basis, but what's your favourite thing?
For my birthday last month, my kids actually brought me a Lego Sonic the Hedgehog kit.
Wow.
Right.
Which is a recreation of a still from the movie
Yeah.
where Sonic runs around and look whatever. And I hadn't actually done proper Lego for a long time.
Yeah.
And I did it last week. And it was really enjoyable. 1,250 pieces, right, to make this thing.
Complicated.
And I've got a garden shed and I sat in my shed and I made it. And that was really nice.
It's very good for your brain and
It
your
was good and
cognitive
relaxing.
skills.
And knowing you as I do, I bet you, right, there were no pieces left over.
There were no pieces left over. I did it diligently and added a few extra pieces of my own, actually, that I hadn't had from the kids' drawers. So there's that. Magnets are my passion as well. I just love the invisible power of a magnet.
Yeah.
That it attracts, it holds, it repels, and you can't see how it does it.
Yes.
So I've got a big collection of magnets of all types. Of
Am I
things.
right? that You're really into magic tricks as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do magic as well.
Yeah.
My business card at one stage was a 3-card trick.
Brilliant.
But the other passion I have is clearly for promotions. My wife doesn't allow me to go shopping with her anymore because
this is mine.
I don't get beyond the first aisle.
Yeah. This is mine.
The word free, the word win, I'm there snapping away.
analysing it.
And I'll be honest, we do a lot of promotions. I don't even know sometimes which campaigns we're doing.
Yeah.
So I took a shot of one of Weetabix and I sent it to one of my team saying, can we follow up? And she said, we're doing it already. The Weetabix football shirt. I didn't know it was one of ours. So, but I normally snap, and then spot opportunities.
Yeah.
So Jeremy, you do all this amazing stuff for clients in terms of marketing and making sure they're safe and being creative and everything else. So, with your plans to kind of grow more globally and stuff, what are your views on the best way to market yourself and how are you doing it at the moment?
Yeah, we put on monthly webinars.
Yep.
So we host those on topics relevant to our area. In June, we took over BAFTA, and we had a wonderful conference with 80 people there looking at the future of promotions.
Brilliant.
And we leveraged an academic partnership that we have with Kingston University.
Yep.
So we've done some research lab work into gamification, what the impact that has, what the public want in terms of prizes. So we announced the results there. So we do backroom research, and then we use that as a platform for launching press releases and news conferences.
And lastly, we asked our guests last week with our first kind of interview process. It's like we're so pleased that you came today, because it's been fun and interesting, and all the things that I wanted to kind of get into this kind of show for the people in the promotions and loyalty things. I think we've covered more than enough of that. It's going to be a tough task to edit it and stuff. But thank you for coming on. But what made you have the courage to come on? I mean, when you look at what we're doing, what are your thoughts about it?
David Brent, he's always been my hero.
Right, okay.
Because I see so much. When I first watched that show, I had to grimace because it was me. The things that he would say, the inappropriate comments.
It's everyone. Yeah.
The dad dancing.
Yeah.
It was me. But the other aspect is, I think that promotions, as we said at the beginning, is not a discipline in its own right. It's been consumed and dominated by other areas, mainly social media. So I just like the chance to fight for my corner.
Brilliant. Well, you've done it admirably, and it's been a real pleasure having you on. So, Jeremy, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Great to meet you, Jeremy. I'm actually getting drawn towards your shed.
Yeah.
The magnetism of it is. I feel myself getting dragged out of the door. Like Bob said, a good idea is a good idea forever.
Yes.
Yeah.
And everywhere.
And I brought Bob a little present.
Have you?
This time round. And people that watched the last podcast, was it the last one? Bank of Brent.
Oh, episode 4.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Will know what this is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
The tiger.
It's a tiger tie.
It's a tiger tie, mate. And it's all silky. So it's quite sexy.
Wow.
Yeah? That's for you, mate.
Oh, I tell you, I love this Oscar.
Definitely.
When I get back to the office.
Definitely.
Do you know, so many years since I've worn a tie.
Suits you.
I'm not even sure.
Can you remember how to do it?
I'm trying to remember if I remember how to do it.
I tell you what, mate.
Yeah.
You're going to have trouble editing that in.
No, this will go out as a.
Oh, look at that.
This will go out as a.
You've done
as
that
a special.
perfectly as well.
Have I?
That will go down well on your next trip to India.
It will do.
It's very Saturday Night Fever as well.
Doesn't go with the t-shirt.
John Travolta's let himself go.
Yeah.